Alright, so if anybody wants to learn how to throw nades further, there's a couple of simple things you can do. It's really not that complicated. It's more about timing than anything. And you'll notice here I'm running on a dev beta server, so I have some special privileges here. I'll be able to reset my grenades and everything like that, just so in case anybody's wondering how I can keep throwing grenades without getting killed. I'm just using some of the admin controls available to me on the dev server. So if you start here, and we just start on the edge, I'm up on here for height so you can more easily see where the grenades land. If I'm looking down, which is what a lot of people are doing when they're fighting somebody, and you throw, it's going to throw really short, right? It's going to throw line of sight. That's just natural. If you're looking up straight ahead, you're going to get a little bit more distance. You should get to about where the tank is. And also knowing sort of the distances that they'll travel depending on your line of sight and your movement speed is really helpful. Now if I look up and I throw, this should go about the tank, but it's going to explode before it hits the ground. See? So those are good for top-down shots when people are hiding behind buildings or people are up on top of buildings. So you can see both of these grenades went, about the same distance. That one, yeah, approximately the same distance, but with a drop. With a bounce. And then this one should explode at about the same distance. However, it's going to explode above the person's head. So those are great for landing on top of people, or it's also good for getting a spread when you have a group of people. Now, if I'm just, let me just get my grenades back. For those that just joined, I'm on a dev server, and I'm able to reload my grenade inventory using some commands available on that server. So here, if I'm just walking forward, again, it's a lot about head placement and a lot about a little bit of wrist movement on the toss. So here I'm going to just run forward and throw. Now I should get clear past that tank, almost to that building, and that was nothing more than running forward, right? So if I'm standing still, it's only going to get to the tank. That one's not even close. If I'm just walking forward and throwing, the momentum, look at that, it's such a much further throw. That one went really far, and all I did was walk forward and click, right? Now, if you want to throw really far, what you're going to want to do is throw a little jump in there and a little wrist twitch up into the air. So you're going to go like this. Now, this is not good for ground troops because it will fly further, which means the fuse is going to burn down, which means it's going to explode in the air. So this is the kind of throw you want to do when somebody's hiding behind that second little building there, not this first one, the second one, and you want to drop it right on their head. So a little twitch up, a throw, and a jump, and you're going to get somebody, at the very least, you're going to wound them. There we go again. That one was pretty close. Now, if you want to get somebody, say, behind this second building, you're going to want to be a little bit lower in your line of sight. If I just throw straight, I could toss it and jump. While I'm tossing, I could jump, and it's going to go over the building, but it's going to hit the ground, it's going to roll because the fuse won't have gone long enough. I mean, it will have gone long enough for it to explode. So what I want to do is time it. So I have to figure out the distance a little bit, and a lot of this just comes with practice. And we'll see how I do here. See, that one's going to explode too high, I know already. Let's get some more grenades. Let's try that again. This one should be better. Yep, so I just killed somebody that was hiding between those two little buildings there. So if you watch the timer, and my line of sight's a little lower, that one's going to be questionable, but pretty good. I got, that probably would have killed somebody that's sitting behind the building. So again, there's a couple different techniques. If you want to roll one in, you can move forward and hit the ground, and it'll bounce pretty far. It'll get there. See, and anybody that's hanging out there. But if you just want to kind of drop and not have it bounce too much, you don't want to be running, and that's just going to come and it's going to sit down, and it's going to stop right where you want it to stop. It's a bit sticky. Let's see if we can get the distance and get to that second building again. That's a good one. So again, it's the jump, the press, and the flick. One more try there, and then I'm going to show you getting up to high places. So I'm going to jump, press, and the flick up is really subtle. You don't need to do a huge motion. It's extremely subtle. It all happens sort of at the same time. Alright, so there's some distance for you. All I can do is say practice, right? A lot of it has to do with the running and jumping, and I like to pull myself back. I don't like to follow through on my jump so much, because I like to maintain my position up here so I can shoot, because I already know what's down below. So when I throw, I like to throw and I like to jump backwards so that I can get back into position to shoot, because I'm not always using my grenades to kill somebody. A lot of times I'm using my grenades to flush them out of where they're hiding. Or another technique I like to use is when you have, here, I'll show you down below. This one's really effective. So if I know there's somebody behind this building right here, right? And now I know that distance. That's just a soft toss, so I don't want to do anything out of control with my speed or anything. So I just want to do a soft toss, and then I'm going to switch to my gun, and I'm going to be right here. Because you're going to get out of there as fast as you can, because that grenade is going to at least damage you. So it's just a soft toss, gun, start shooting, because they are just going to run out here, or they're going to hop up there. And if they hop up there, you'll see them, and you'll have time. So the grenade isn't just about killing people. It's also about moving them into your kill zone for your gun. Now, if I want to get something up here, if I got somebody on the roof, you guys have probably seen a fair amount of my videos where I get people on the roofs, or even up there or there. If I just do a straight throw like that, it's just going to hit and bounce off. So there's a couple different things you can do. You can try to soft throw it up and see if you can get it to land like that, but then you're going to give time for the enemy to react, and that one might have rolled off of the back. That's hard to tell. So what I prefer to do is work on my timing and time my grenade toss so that it explodes just as it reaches the roof of the building. So let's see, I'm gonna hold on here, and there we go. That should work. Bang, right there. So that would have blown up right on somebody's head. So it's not about just throwing far, it's about knowing the timing on the fuse. Let's try that again. That should do it. And see, now that one landed on the top, I could tell, because it didn't make any ticking noise, or whatever you want to call it, tink, tink, clink, clinking noise. Now the fun ones are when you're down low and you want to get people up high. Now that one's not even as high as I generally like to do. I like to go even higher, so let's move over here. Get more grenades. Okay, so just an upwards throw with a little forward momentum is plenty to get you up there. But if you want to get up even higher, if you want to get up to that second tier, you really got to time the jump and the flick right. And it's not always going to work, because timing is everything, and if you don't have the right timing, it's going to fail. Now, I don't even know if I'll get it up there this time, because that's a pretty high shot. But the ones I'm throwing right now are definitely high enough to get you up to, you know, the higher skyscraper type buildings. If I get it up there, it would be a miracle. That's pretty high. It also depends. Another thing you need to consider is what ground you're on, because if you're trying to get to the top of something and you're down here, this little amount of extra space will make a huge difference. So I'm always looking to start. Hey man, how's it going? Is that Aldor? I don't even know how to say that. Abdurl man. Any extra height I can get from the ground goes a long way in helping me get up to a higher spot. So that was a little ambitious. That's a little bit higher than I expected it to be. But if we go, say, let's go to City Point. Oh, here, this is a good one. Let's do this on Remagen. So this is a great example of getting yourself up. Hey, all right, the pro, how you doing, man? Getting a nice toss up to the top. A lot of times, I love doing it here for a couple reasons. Is people love to parachute onto these bridge supports, and while they're parachuting down, it's a perfect time for you to drop a grenade up there. And then number two is sometimes you just can't see them. They like to step back a little bit, and you want to drop one in. So, again, it's the upwards line of sight, little hop, and a teeniest little bit of a flick. And you're going to land it right up on top. But you have to be moving, and you can't start here. If you do that, you're just not. That's important. Your line of sight has to mostly be up. The pro, I'm using all my admin capabilities on one of our dev servers, so that's not something you can do normally. So you're seeing me play on one of our dev servers. You can't really start here and comfortably get it up, because you can see I ended up almost at the same line of sight, but it's not really making it up there, right? So again, you want to start. You don't want to start looking exactly where you want it, because part of the whole motion is the upwards motion as you're jumping and throwing. So I'm going to start with a decent view up, and I'm going to raise it up a little bit more as I'm jumping, and we get a nice shot there. That one went so far, it went actually over. So again, some of that is about timing. And let's see. If I can get on escape. There we go. So escape is another fun one to do it on, because I like to throw it into the towers. So once you get that kind of throw down, and once you're able to gauge the height and get the flick down, you can do lots of fun things, like really scare people in the towers. People come pouring out, or they just don't know what to do, and they run around and they bounce around. So being able to drop one right into the tower from the ground, most people have no expectation that anybody can do it. And if you can get that done, you can get a lot of kills, or you can even land it on top of the tower. So again, this is more just about practice and timing. And so again, the little hop up and the jump, and that was really close. So we're going to adjust a little bit there. I think I missed on that one. Nope, got that one. There we go. And I call that the tower cleaner, because when it explodes, generally what happens is people come flying out the windows. And that's always fun to see, the ragdoll physics of the guy being tossed out the window. There's another one. Hey, thanks for the follow, bud. So practice on, some of, and it's hard. You know what? It's hard to practice, right? Because you don't have you don't have a server all to yourself. But the only way you can get better at this is to do it in game. And here's another good one. So on escape, that hospital is usually a hotspot, and this wall gives you nice protection against people sniping or shooting at you. And you can even drop them right from here. Once you get the motions down, you can plant the grenades right on the roof, and that's a roof cleaner, just like I have the tower cleaner. And that's a great one to see a bunch of folks falling off. And not a lot of people really hide in the windows, but you can drop them in the windows too. That one was pretty close. So usually what you want to do is wherever you want to land it, you want to start slightly below that location. You don't want to be looking right at it. And then you're going to flick up. Oh, see, awfully close. You're going to want to flick up. Oh, that's not open. That's why. You're going to want to flick up to about, and you want to finish your flick approximately at the location where you want the grenade to travel, if that makes sense. So I'm going to start here, and I'm going to try to flick up to there. And that it's not super easy to do because timing, right? Bang, there it is. And whoever's hiding in there. So that's an important little bit, is if you want it to land up there, you want to start your flick a little bit below and go just a little bit above. If you want to land it in here, you want to start just a little bit below and hit it. But you can. It's not that easy to do because, well, number one, you're under fire, and number two, you're moving at the same time. Right now, it's easy for me to do it. But if I want to land it on the roof, I'm letting it go just a touch above the roof line. If I want to land it in the window, I want to let it go just a little bit above the window, and it's going to drop right in there and kill that person. So it's a lot about practice. And again, you got to get the speed, you got to jump, and you got to do a little flick. If you really want it to go far, you got to do all of those motions sort of at once, and you need to get the grenade tossed at the top of your jump. So right at the top of the jump. Here we go. You can follow through forward. There's nothing wrong with following through forward. What I had said before is I like to jump and throw, and I like to come back so that I'm in a position that I know is already secure, because I wouldn't be throwing the grenade from there if it wasn't secure. And then you can start landing the grenades up on the buildings from just about every angle. And there's one on the hospital again. And then we'll see if we can get one into the tower. Nope, that was a little far. I'll try one more. It's closer. And it's not every grenade, man. Sometimes I'll throw all 5 of my grenades and not get them in just because of the pressure of what's going on. There it is. And that will surely clear that tower out. So, I hope that helps some people. I didn't see any questions other than, is that my real voice? Yeah, it's my real voice. I hope that helps. Again, timing. So if I wanted to get this guy here, I don't want to just throw it because it's going to give him... I could just throw it, and if he stands there and does nothing to try to get out of the way, he's going to die, but normally they're going to get out of the way. So what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to understand the distance, time it, throw it, boom, no chance, right? So that blows up right at his feet or right at his head. And again, it's about understanding the length of the fuse. Because if I'm back here, I don't want to hold it for nearly as long. This one, I only probably want to hold it for 1 tick. And then throw. See? So, timing, fuse length, running, jumping, flicking, line of sight start, line of sight end. Right? All sounds so simple, doesn't it? That was close. It's just, I would see again, I was a little bit left because it's challenging to do it while you're moving. That should be good. There we go. So hopefully that's helpful. I mean, I wish I could really show people how to do it, but again, it has a lot to do with understanding the distances, the timing. So let's actually see if I can kill this guy with the right timing. Yep, see? So that's it. So I hope that was helpful. I might as well hop in a game, see if I can do some damage now.